what we have here, Your Honor, and why this is relevant evidence of consciousness of guilt, it really doesn't matter what exactly happened on the side of the road, because that's not the focus of what the state is seeking to do. What the state is seeking to do, and what we believe is relevant and admissible under these rules, is to show what the defendant said about it and the fact that that was not true.
This is character evidence, which is precluded under, the only exception to 404, 403 Your Honor's allowed in is motive. Why did he do it? If he's looking for a common scheme, that is, that when he's about to be found out or he's being found out, he would have killed Buster, based on his theory, to distract. This isn't a distraction, this is an end.
And the state's real focus is not exactly on what happened on the side of the road. What's important, and this is, I think, different from a typical cart race situation, is what the defendant said about it. And the fact that he immediately tells this lie about him being targeted by an unknown assailant. And that is what directly connects it back to Moselle, and that's immediately what everybody assumed.
I believe this, as I stated, will be a bridge too far. It does not meet the logical relevancy test. I agree with the defense that it would be admissible, perhaps, if the trial was a trial on the financial theft issues, but not on the murder.
So I'm watching this morning, and this is all about the roadside shooting. Now, I went to the scene of that shooting by the church with the red roof, and Alec Murdaugh apparently set up this scenario and pretended that he was shot by some stranger. And he actually did get grazed in the head and was bleeding everywhere, went to the hospital. But now the judge made the ruling that the jury's not going to hear about any of that. But then this happened.
And you learned through your investigation that Alec was paying up to $50,000 a week to a guy named Curtis Eddie Smith for drugs, right?
That's what was told to us, yes.
And you learned through this investigation, what was told to you, that Eddie was buying these drugs from other folks, members of Sandhill drug gang, right?
Yes.
And the Sandhill drug gang was a precursor to the Cowboys drug ring, right?
I'm not familiar with the Cowboys, but that's what I've been told, yes.
And you learned that Eddie owed these drug gang members a lot of money for drugs that were sold to Alec, didn't you?
I believe the information came into that they weren't worried about what was owed because they knew they were going to get paid.
That came to you after the Maggie and Paul were murdered, right?
That came to us after September-ish incident as well.
And did you ever conduct a cell phone analysis of these drug gang members to see where they were on the night of June the 7th?
I didn't have their phone numbers. In my experience, that they don't keep the same phone numbers. They use what's called burner phones. But we also did an analysis around Moselle, trying to encompass anybody else coming in, and that information did not pan out. There was only 2 people identified, and they were emergency first responders.
And you're talking about the geofencing stuff?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, did you ever obtain any DNA samples from these drug gang members to see if they matched Maggie's fingernail?
No, sir.
Did you feel a little draft? I mean, I think someone left the door open in the courtroom. Because then, after this testimony, the judge did this.
With regard to the court's earlier ruling excluding not allowing the roadside shooting incident, during cross-examination, I find that the defense opened the door to all of that testimony by questioning the witness as to the relationship between Mr. Murdaugh and Eddie Smith, payment of money to buy drugs, indebtedness, his overall relationship, and in order to not mislead the jury and to, under the doctrine of completeness and fairness, the court reverses its decision and will allow examination of witnesses regarding that relationship.
It's in. It's in. Let's bring back in the think tank. Lori Murray, David Pasco Jr., Noah Pines back with us. All right, David, so now the jury's going to hear all about the roadside shooting. You heard what the prosecutors want to get out of it, the fact that he tells a story that he was shot at by a stranger, which he then later admits is not true. He's lying about a shooting. How powerful will that be?
Very powerful. And, you know, I love Judge Newman, so I'm not going to criticize him. I've tried several cases in front of him, including a death penalty. But I think this should have come in all along, so I'm glad it's coming in. It's almost race justice to the crime, Benny. It really is completeness to the whole case. You know, there's case law right on point. Attempted suicides, flight, things like that are always admissible at trial. And that's essentially what this is. It's powerful. It's another lie. The only thing the state needs to be careful of is don't let the defense muddy the waters too much with this third-party guilt about a potential other suspects in the case. That, again, these are going to be a fun couple of days to watch because there's going to be a lot of navigation in these waters between both the state and the defense. But this is powerful, important evidence, and I'm glad it's coming in.
Yeah, and it also opens the door for a potential testimony of Cousin Eddie. Now, in light of today's ruling, it's possible that the jury could hear from Curtis Eddie Smith, but it wouldn't be the first time he's spoken about this incident. Back in October of 2021, Smith and his attorney sat down with Craig Melvin from NBC's Today Show and gave his side of the story as to what happened between him and Alec on the side of the road back on September 4th, 2021.
I didn't shoot him.
Are you innocent of everything?
I'm innocent. If I'd have shot him, he'd been dead. He's alive. And he's standing like this. He said, "You gonna shoot me?" I said, "No." He said, "We just got to do it." And he made his move like this, you know. And I just grabbed his arm.
You took the gun.
Shoved it behind him, between me and him. And it went off.
The gun went off. Did it hit him? Did the bullet hit him?
No.
So that story where
There's
he
no
got
blood on me. There's no blood on him.
he didn't get shot in the head.
No. We bounced off his car and I kind of made a move to get the gun and he hit the dirt, you know. And
What percent are you positive that he didn't get shot? If you could put a percentage on it.
1,000.
He did get shot.
Unbelievable. Let's bring back the think tank. Noah Pines, Cousin Eddie takes the stand, talks about the roadside shooting. How does this all play out now?
I mean, Cousin Eddie definitely is a box of information, right? And, you know, it's first of all, I don't think the defense has done a good job. I think their cross-examination has been horrible. I think they've opened the door many times. You know, I understand these are allegedly really good lawyers, but all I see them do is open the door and let the prosecutor walk right in. They had a win this morning with the evidence not coming in, and now it's coming in because of what they did. And who knows what else Cousin Eddie can say. You know, and, you know, this cross-examination, did you get these cowboys? You know, did you get all these cowboys to come in? Well, wouldn't Alec know who these people are? Wouldn't that be information Alec would have given in his 3 interviews? By the way, Cousin Eddie's been buying drugs for me, you know, from these gang members. Let me tell you who they are, because maybe they're the ones who killed my wife and son. Did we hear that, Vinny?
No, we didn't, and I don't think we heard testimony about him hiding anywhere or being in fear of being a victim of all of this. Lori Murray, what do you think?
In fact, his sister-in-law said he wasn't scared.
Exactly, the opposite. Lori, roadside shooting. What do you think?
I'm itching to jump in here because I don't think that this was a mistake on the defense's part. Everybody wants to hear from Cousin Eddie, but the state doesn't want to call him. So that's why he hasn't been called. Think about the fact that at 3:30 yesterday, they broke. Cousin Eddie's sitting over in the jail. They could have brought him over to testify anytime if they had wanted to, and they didn't bring him over. So they were not going to call him. The defense used this as a strategic move to force their hand to either call him or at least get the evidence in that they want in. Now, what they still need in is that Eddie lied several times, and I don't even want to talk about the lawyer that put him on TV, but he lied several times, and that's what's going to be the most important thing that the defense is trying to get in. And now it's an issue. So it was a strategic move by them.
All right, Laura, I just want to make sure you know, at any point of this show and someone's talking, you agree, you can jump in, especially when Noah's talking. You can jump in, right, Noah? You have no problem with that.
That's right.
Okay.
I got my Southern manners. It's these Southern
No,
manners.
we have no
My mama
manners.
would die.
No, this is the 9 o'clock hour. No manners. And manners out the door. All right.